so crazy. 1 year ago, if you asked me to do that trick, I would just not be able to do it. But I made a lot of progression and I've learned so many tricks since then. And I've just taken skateboarding a lot more seriously and to a whole nother level. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I practice and how I managed to learn so many tricks within days, weeks, and months, and within a whole year of taking skating seriously. All right, so the first thing you want to do is prepare. I don't think I said this in the intro, but I'm going to be giving you guys 5 steps on getting better at skating and skate progression in general. So step 1 is stretching. I really can't stretch this enough, but stretching is really important. I know a lot of skaters just slam and fall, and then the next day they just wake up and their body is just aching and they can't even skate the next day because of what they did the day before. So stretching is really important. Ever since I've done it, it's really helped a lot, especially when you stretch correctly and you do it consistently. So when you do stretch, you not only want to stretch your upper body, but you obviously want to stretch your lower body too, because skating is mainly in the legs, so you definitely want to stretch those out. I usually use this one YouTube video to stretch all my muscles out, and it's 15 minutes long, so you can basically stretch as they're stretching, and I'll link that video in the description below so that you guys can check that out and stretch and do that too. And I put it in the prepare category mainly because you're getting ready for your session. You really want to do it before your session, if not after. I make it one of the first things I do in the morning so that I don't have to worry about it the rest of the day, and so I can just stretch, skate, and be happy. And then the second thing in the planning category is your diet. A lot of skaters just treat their diet like crap too. They'll eat anything, and I know a lot of skaters don't have the financial resources to shop at Whole Foods, which is really expensive and can be if you're mainly dependent on that. But there are a lot of other alternatives to changing your diet, just cutting out meat in general. And I know meat is a source of protein, but the protein in that meat comes from natural plants. So if you just ate the plants directly, you would get protein directly from the main source. Cutting out meat definitely made me feel a lot better. I just felt like I was able to recover a lot faster after my sessions, and my body was just getting used to like bouncing back like right after a really hard session. And another thing is that you always want to carry cold water, and technically you really don't even need to carry cold water. Just bring water in general if you don't like cold water. It's hot where I usually am, especially this week. It's been like 90 degrees every single day, but I think I even drunk cold water in the cold weather when it was winter time. I'm like addicted to cold water, but like it kind of rejuvenates you throughout the session too, so definitely keep that in handy. Don't forget it, put it in your bag, and we're moving on to the next step. All right, so this is probably one of the fastest tips and one of the quickest, most convenient ones that I really found to be really helpful, and it's basically just planning. And I'm not talking about like in-depth planning, like just know what type of things you want to do in the session before you start the session. The main thing to do this is to save time and to stay focused. And that's basically what you want to do, because you want to get better at skating. Obviously, to get better, you need to practice, and to practice, you need to know what you need to practice on. Plan the tricks that you want to practice, and make sure that they're tricks that you know are similar to the ones you already know how to do, and they're not like way out of your league. And if it is way out of your league, then make sure you plan how you're going to attack the trick. Don't just say, oh, I'm gonna land a hard flip today, even though you don't even know how to kick flip. Make sure you're like doing things in chronological order. Make it make sense, but also like have imagination. I know like when I first started doing tray flips, like I had no idea almost a year later I would be learning switch tray flips like at all. But that's what happened, and that's what another thing that you need to do is in your planning is to not only focus on tricks that are similar to the tricks you already know how to do, but also explore and taste. Just attempt to do tricks that might be out of your league, because you might get close to one of them. Like switch tray flips, I did not know that I would be able to do that at all, like at all. And it didn't even take the slightest bit of effort to like actually land it my first time trying it. You really don't know what you can accomplish until you try it. So plan the tricks that you want to do before you start your session, and explore, taste, and yeah, let's get on to the next step. All right, so now let's say that you've done the previous 2 steps that I just went over. You've prepared in terms of stretching, changing your diet, and bringing cold water to your sessions, and you've planned which tricks you want to work on or which tricks you want to test out. Now it's time to practice. We're in the session. So at first when I was practicing, I was only practicing from like 1 hour to 2 hours, or maybe like just like 45 minutes. I wasn't practicing nearly as much as I am now. I only knew how to like hill flip, kick flip, and do some 180s and shove it's, but nothing too serious. So when I was learning the tray flip, I started to work harder. Another thing I noticed is that I started to work longer. But one thing that I feel like skaters miss is that even though they'll go to the skate park and they'll stay for like 2 hours to 4 hours, they might sit down and like talk with their homies for like a whole hour, 2 hours and a half, and basically they're only skating 1 hour to 2 hours. Basically what I'm trying to say is intensify your session by staying focused and working on the things that you plan to do. But if you're just not getting into skating, or you're just only skating 1 hour to 2 hours every single day, that's fine. As long as you have that growth mindset of knowing that in the future, you know that you want to have longer sessions, and you know that you need to be consistent with skating, and you need to do it every single day and know what you're going to work on and stay focused. All right, so now we're in the post-session phase. We're gonna be reevaluating. This is step 4, is to look back on what you did well and what you did not do well. A lot of times when I was first skating, I just skated just to skate. A lot of times that's a good thing. Like, I was just enjoying the art of skating and just practicing what I wanted to do and just doing the things that I wanted to practice. But if you do want to get better, you do need to realize that in order for you to get better, you need to know what you did right and what you did wrong throughout the session. So in the next session, you can work on the things that you did wrong the session prior. Another thing that really helped me through my skate progression is looking at videos before and after skating. If I was working on like hard flips, which that was a really hard process for me, when I was practicing hard flips, like I would look at so many tutorials before and after my session, and before and after I would just skate and practice on the things I need to work on for me to actually learn how to hard flip. And a lot of times I would pause the video, change the speed of the YouTube video so that it makes it slow on top of the slowed version that they already offer, and it would just be super slow, and I'll just analyze how they do it and how I do it and compare the two.
I forgot to mention that recording yourself skating is also a great thing to do, not only to see your progression over time, which is also pretty cool, but to also micro-analyze the mistakes you might be making too.
Alright, so I don't want to put too much pressure on you guys, so the last and final step is to have fun. I know a lot of skaters would just say that in order to have fun, you need to be good, and this is one thing that I'm just kind of struggling on right now, because I'm in that zone where I just want to learn as many tricks as possible, as fast as I can, but it's thrilling and I like it. I do make videos for you guys, and I post not only on YouTube, but Instagram and TikTok too, so I'm making skate content for a lot of other people. To do that on a daily basis is kind of a lot of pressure, but it's also fun. So just make sure that you're having fun so that it doesn't feel like too intense. But sometimes you do need that intensity to push you and to make you practice hard, but at the same time you need to know how to balance, which is one thing that I'm still working on. So definitely take that into account when trying to get better at skating. All right, you guys, that was the end of this YouTube video. Let me know if you found some helpful tips in this video or what's worked for you in the past. But that's it for me today, and I'll see you guys later. I'm out.